Hello there.
Hi.
Hi.
I'm almost ready. There I am.
Hello, everyone. Welcome.
Hello.
Welcome to the live stream. This is like the biggest group we've had yet.
I mean, yeah, because usually it's you and me.
Let's go ahead and introduce ourselves with our names, pronouns, and what we do for the show. So I'll start. My name is Allie Hilton. I use she, her pronouns. I am the creator of the show and also playing R in season 2.
I'm Moon. I use he, him pronouns, and I play Mars. Our Mars Cope, everyone's favorite, love to hate them arsehole.
Hello, I'm Ari, they, them pronouns, and I play the lovely Evelyn Lyon.
Hi, I'm Lindsay Zana, and I play Katie Bell Snow.
Ray is not here right now, but if they show up, they will be here.
Hi, I'm Nick Frey. I use they, them pronouns, and I'm playing G Green for season 2.
What's up, guys? I am Michael Grisso, a he, him dude here in this awesome chat here. And I will be playing Adler in season 2 that's going to be coming up, but don't tell anybody about that. Those episodes haven't come out yet.
I'm Brad Colebrook, they, them, he. I am one of the sound designers for season 2.
I am Nico Goldstein, they, them. I am 2 of the sound designers for this season. And 3 is missing, but there's 3 of us for the record.
And we're missing Tall, but also Brad and Nico will be playing with sirens, so that's a fun episode.
Yes, we will.
Mm-hmm. So that's everyone.
So terrifying.
If anyone wants to ask us questions either during the stream or after in our Q&A, you can join our Discord, which is linked in the. It's going to be linked in the stream description, but it's also up on the page in the lower right-hand corner. I know my lefts from rights, I promise. And we'll be taking questions and talking about the episode, and feel free to yell at us because we have committed crimes against the heart.
Mostly you have committed crimes.
Mostly me.
No, what do you want to do with me? I haven't even touched this episode.
Associate yourself within this project.
I think it was a collaborative effort.
Yeah, I mean, you guys did agree to tell this story with me.
I mean, yeah, but I think most of the blame can be put on you for writing it, but also a lot of the praise for creating it as well. So it's a two-way street.
Yeah. All right, well, I think we should start the episode, yeah?
Let's get it.
All right.
Heck yeah.
Let's go ahead and start up the episode.
Gotta love technology.
Do we have to?
I'm muting myself for a quick second because we were trying to start up the episode, and technology is being, technology. Fun time. Come on. Well, while we're waiting, guess we should just talk while we're trying to get the computer to load. So we're not just sitting here in silence.
How about we just do the episode in real time?
Yes.
Oh God.
Let's go.
Live reading.
But I'm not in there with you guys. Come on.
Yeah, me neither. I just want to watch everybody else
Waiting for
perform.
someone to show up.
Listen, we always need a Sawyer Green. I mean, this is an episode. So I guess before we begin, while that's all loading, how'd you guys hear about the show? Why'd you guys join in on the show?
I fully don't remember where I found the casting call.
Probably
It's
Tumblr.
been so...
Season 1 was Tumblr.
That's where I
Yes, that was-
found it. God, that was,
No.
what, 3 years ago now?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's been
Oh,
10 years.
God.
Dadgum.
That's
No,
wild.
I found the episode, like an acting friend of mine like recommended this project to me on Twitter and whatnot. It's just like, yeah, you should totally audition for us. I listened to it and it's like freaking amazing. So like just that alone, why not? I'll
And
give
now
it a
you're
shot.
here.
And here I am.
I listened to the show. I was a fan of the show before I joined the cast. I remember listening to like all of season 1 on the plane to and home.
Warning, the following
Christmas
episode
one
contains
year?
mature content
And
and
then
strong
I saw the
language. It
casting
may
call
not
for
be
season
suitable
2
for all
on
listeners.
Twitter, and threw my hat into the ring, and here I am.
Sorry if there was an...
I heard that Ali was looking for extra sound designers, and then I was like, I did that. That was so fun. I want to do it again, but I don't have recordings to edit. Let's see if I can get their recordings to edit and have fun with that myself.
I ran into the season 2 casting call like right as I had started voice acting. So this was actually the third thing I auditioned for ever.
I think this is
then-
the third thing I auditioned for as well. I was 17,
Hey.
which is
This episode
Kinda fucking
includes minor
wild.
gun violence, including a gunshot at 2
Yeah,
minutes
I
and
was
6
like
seconds
18
and
or
2
19 at the time as well. And I think I'd been cast in like 2 other things, maybe 3. And then like this one is the only one that is still standing. So congrats.
same.
Let's go.
At the top of the hill. The one
That's-
winner.
Now, see, I'm over here. I'm like 25. Good Lord. What? I am feeling. Oh,
2 minutes and 20 seconds. Blood,
our episode
heavy
is starting.
breathing, body image discussion,
ooh.
mild
Oh, hell yeah.
sexual
Let's go.
innuendos, needles, and discussion of death and
Alright, pause it really quick.
past trauma, which
Episode
may be triggering to
warnings
some
are in the
listeners.
description.
Listener
There we go.
discretion is advised. A transcript of this episode is available on our website or in the show notes. We hope you enjoy the season premiere of season 2 of Dining in the Void.
She shot her former friend after another fight. The end is fast approaching, they're soon to see the light. The ties of friendship break up, their lives are in full view. Their souls of bright and blinding light have now been renewed. Don't fall for their old tricks, for they've played this game before. Time ticks away, my mortal friends, what has the host in store?
bitch. Galatea, what the fuck? You shot Aveline!
Aveline's the host. That explains so much.
She's covered in blood.
Now, darling, I really wouldn't do that. Shapeshifting in your condition seems awfully painful.
So, how'd you figure it out?
Oh, you really aren't as clever as you thought. For example, you used a person's mind as a means to run a station? Now, had Dala originally been an AI, it would be different. But her mind is so much more complex than you intended. You thought you could just erase the memories of your betrayal and things would be fine.
You were wrong, Aveline. I remember everything now.
You've also been acting, extremely suspicious ever since you arrived on this station. Disappearing suddenly, leading us in circles. It's a wonder we didn't find out sooner, honestly.
You know, it really is. Most contestants...
Shut up! Shut the fuck up, or I swear to the stars and gods I'll kill you right now.
I hate to interrupt, but aren't we still heading towards Rigel A?
Yes, but I'm working on overriding the controls.
You can just do that?
She can't.
I just did. Sirius Station is returning to normal orbit.
How?
Like I said, Aveline, you aren't as clever as you thought. Now, get up and turn around, facing the wall.
I have some zip ties in my bag that we can use to tie her up.
Won't she just shapeshift out of them?
Not with Galatea pointing that gun. Here, Sawyer. Take some and tie Joe up while I take care of Aveline.
All right.
You know, Sawyer, you're quite good at this. I bet you and Ellery are... Ah, fuck!
Not another word.
Mars, something's wrong with Katie Bell. She won't wake up.
Her pupils are responsive, and she's still breathing, but I won't be able to know more until we get her to my lab.
Is it safe to move her?
It's not the best choice, but staying here isn't an option. Galatea can only point a gun for so long, and I'm the only one who can lock Aveline and Joe up in my quarantine chamber. And I can't leave Katie Bell here in case something were to go wrong. We're out of options, and we don't want to run out of time.
Okay. I trust you.
Move it, Aveline.
What? No, please. So what now, Galatea? You gonna lock me up? Torture me, maybe? You know I'll never let you leave here alive.
I wouldn't be so sure, darling.
Stars.
Oh, shit.
Wait, why is she glowing?
It's getting brighter.
Stars, what was that?
You fuckers really don't know anything, do you?
Someone, please, gag them already.
Oh, my, Galatea. Kinky.
Ugh.
She's breathing, and it looks like the wound healed itself.
How the hell can she do that?
I don't know.
What do we do now?
We could just kill her and be done with it.
Isn't that risky? Killing her would mean we don't get the answers about who she is or why we are even here.
As much as I hate to agree with Sawyer, and I really hate it, he has a point. In every film I've seen, when the heroes let the bad guy live, it comes back to bite them in the ass.
But what about the family? Clearly, Aveline is involved with them. They could retaliate and hunt us down if we kill her.
Do you really think she would be worth the trouble?
She is.
And why is that, Tala?
Well, she is one of the original family members.
She is? How do you know that?
Well, ever since Galatea unlocked my mind, my memories have slowly been reconnecting themselves. I'm remembering things from before my conversion, from when I was alive. I remember meeting her after I passed my trials, and we became really close.
And then what happened?
Long story short, she betrayed me. She's a liar and a monster.
The family has to have some weakness, something we can use to fight back.
If they do, I don't know it. I wasn't a part of the family for very long.
Fine, we don't kill her. Yet. But she needs to be watched at all times.
I 100% agree. As soon as we reach my lab, I'll start doing DNA tests and try and figure out exactly what the fuck she is. It'll probably take a few hours though, especially if I need to put it through a universal data chart.
Which is locked away because we have no access to the outside universe.
Since Tala seems to be unusually helpful at the moment, do you think she could fix that?
I could try, but I can't make any promises.
And while Mars is working on... well, whatever they are going to do to Aveline, I'll help you however I can. Now that we know Aveline was behind everything, we can make sure she doesn't compromise our efforts to get out of here.
Okay, but first, you guys should take care of Aveline and Joe before they try and escape.
Good point. Galatea, keep the gun aimed at Joe. Sawyer, can you grab Aveline?
Fine. Let's get this done quickly. I need to tell Ellery and G that it's safe to come out now.
Are we safe?
As safe as we can be, I suppose. For now, at least.
Sawyer, put her on the bed and get those restraints on her. Galatea, I need you to tie Joe up in that chair. I'm going to take some blood samples so I can run a few DNA tests. Hopefully I can compare them with the Universal's database as soon as Tala gets that unlocked. If all things go well, this will give us some clues as to what the fuck she even is.
And find a weakness we don't know about yet.
Yeah, that too. Now, everyone leave. I need to focus.
Katie Bell. Please wake up. Your skin is shifting into blues and purples and... What's happening to you? You seem to be stuck between Silver and... someone else. Katie Bell? Can you hear me?
Waverly?
Are you okay?
Yeah. Why are you looking at me like that?
I'm worried about you.
Don't lie to me. I know what that look means.
What look?
Like you don't recognize me. I've seen it before. You were expecting someone else.
What do you mean? It's you. You're Katie Bell. It's still you.
No. I get it. You want Katie Bell Silver. Well, here's Katie Bell Silver.
What are you doing?
Let me go. I'll become her again. I'll shift back.
You don't have to shift back.
Yes, I do. You fell in love with Silver, not Snow. You won't be happy if I don't look like her.
Katie Bell, that is not true. I am begging you, do not shift. You almost died last time you did. You are not dying today.
I won't die. This will only take a second.
Katie Bell, stop. You're going to hurt yourself.
Don't worry. I feel just fine. Things are going to be okay.
I've got you. Just stop. Just... Oh, stars, breathe. Please breathe.
I'm the only person keeping her alive. If I stop pretending to be her, she goes away for good.
Is that what's making you do this?
If I'm not Silver, then she's dead for real. I will have killed her.
That is not true. You don't have to do this. Katie Bell Silver died, and you saw it happen, but it wasn't you who killed her.
Not yet.
Stop that! Listen to me. I know why you're doing this. You kept up the lie first because it was fun, but then you knew the truth would hurt her family. That's why you didn't tell anyone. But I know you're tired of pretending to be someone else. I can see it in your eyes. You lived in paradise, Silver, but now that's all gone. Everyone here knows you're a shapeshifter. You can't keep running from it.
You don't want to hurt me. You know how people feel about shapeshifters.
I know, but I don't care. I'll fight them if I have to.
Then what will I do when we escape? How can I put this to rest?
When we get out of here, her family needs to know the truth. You've got to put Silver to rest. For her family's sake, for your sake, hell, even for my sake. You kept saying it'd make me happier if you shift into her, but it won't. Every time you shift, you end up in agony. You can't keep Silver up forever. I don't want you to be her if it's going to hurt you.
I am her, can't you see? It's me, Katie Bell. I don't have to shift back now. I can do this full time.
No, you can't.
Yes, I can. Look at me. I've got it. She's back.
She's killing you, literally and metaphorically. You keep fidgeting and your muscles keep contracting. You're in pain, Katie Bell. Stop it. I get it. You think I won't understand if you shift back. You think I'll change my mind when I see your true form. But that's not true. Zell was a shapeshifter too. She was one of the co-pres. She was in a different form every time I saw her. I knew it was her because of the way she looked at me. No one else has looked at me like that. After my parents killed her, I never wanted to love anyone else. I thought if I did, they'd get taken away from me, like she was. And it kind of pisses me off, because you're trying to impress me, and you're in pain. You're going to take yourself away from me, and I don't want that. I don't want to replace her with you or anything like that. I want you, Katie Bell Snow. Or just Snow. Or even, I don't know, KB. Whatever you want me to call you to make that easier, I'll do it. Just don't hurt yourself. Be Snow. It's who you need to be right now. You don't have to be Silver anymore. After all, she's not immortal. No one is.
Will you still love me even if I don't look like this?
I'll love whatever body you're in. As long as that body keeps making terrible puns. Hey, it's okay. Please, just turn back into Snow.
Will you hold me when I do?
I will. Come here. I've got you.
Would it be weird if I said goodbye to you as Silver?
No, actually, I think that would be really beautiful.
Okay, then. Goodbye, Waverly.
Good night, Silver. Pleasant dreams.
I'm back! Ow! I'm too weak to move. Sorry.
Don't be sorry, I understand. I'll watch over you.
But Waverly, how can you watch over me if I'm taller than you?
God damn it. You are so lucky I'm in love with you.
I am. I'm lucky you laugh at my jokes. And I'm lucky you're here protecting me.
I'm never gonna leave you. I won't let anything bad happen to you ever again.
I know. And once I'm able to stand, I'll take care of you. The stars look so beautiful tonight. But you know what else looks beautiful? It's me. I'm beautiful.
Okay. That one was bad.
Is it okay if we just lay here and look at the stars for a while?
Of course, love. We can stay as long as you want.
See the pyramids along the Nile. Watch the sunrise on a tropic isle. But just remember, darling, all the while you belong to me. See the marketplace in old Algiers. Send me photographs and souvenirs. Just remember, when a dream appears, you belong to me. I'll be so alone without you. Maybe you'll be lonesome too. And blue. Fly the ocean in a silver plane. See the jungle when it's wet with rain. Just remember till you're home again, you belong to me. I'll be so alone without you. Baby, you'll be lonesome too. And blue. Fly the ocean in a silver plane. See the jungle when it's wet with rain. Just remember till you're home again, you belong to me. You belong to me.
Dining in the Void is a production of Zebulon Podcast and was created by Allie Hilton. This episode was written by Allie Hilton featuring guest writer Arizona Johnson. The script was edited by Rowan Sparra. This episode features Rhea as Jo, Emmett Moon as Mars Cobe, Ari as Aveline Lyon, Dylan Shane as Sawyer Green, Bio as Katie Bill Silver, Lindsay Zana as Katie Bill Snow, Sterling Ray as Waverly Black, Nat as Tala, Molly Alexander as Galatea Ivory, and Allie Hilton as R. Music was composed by Benny James and Allie Hilton. Sound editing by Brad Colebrook with assistance from Tal Manier and Nico Goldstein. Additional sound effects from freesound.org. If you enjoy the show, consider supporting us on Patreon at patreon.com/Zebulon Podcast, spelled ZEBULONPODCASTS. Follow us on Twitter at Dining in the Void for updates and more. Thank you so much for listening.
All right. Well, that was the episode.
Yay! Episode.
That was so beautiful. Oh my god!
That was my first time listening because I've been too busy with the other episodes to listen to this one. But it's very, very cool.
Y'all over here about to make me cry. Jesus Christ.
It gets better even further into the season.
Oh yeah, just wait until let alone just wait until the next episode. Like, holy shit! You thought this scene was emotional? Wait until episode 2. Y'all ain't ready.
Guess who had to listen to that scene several dozen times while cutting it together.
Before we continue on talking about the episode, just a reminder that we are taking questions and comments and whatever else you want to say to us on our Discord and our live stream chat. Feel free to ask us any questions and your thoughts, and until we get questions, we're just gonna talk about the episode, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well.
So obviously, there's the big reveal this episode.
Yeah. Our darling Evelyn, starry-eyed reporter.
What?
Honestly, like, when I write the show, I always write with, like, a endpoint in mind, and the very endpoint was, because I remember it, I had a dream where I was on the space station, and, like, everyone was trying to figure out who trapped them there, and I was like, haha, it was I was like, yes, a podcast. And so it didn't exactly play out like that, but that's where the idea comes from, is, like, this person has been hidden among you, and so we see that Aveline has gotten shot.
I was about to say, that game just got recently released, and I'm like,
No, it was actually released in 2018.
Yeah, same time we were.
Mm-hmm. But Diane Void started in 2017. So there.
Yes.
So no one can yell at me that I stole any ideas because I came up with this show, like, forever.
It's just the weirdest coincidence.
It is so weird, man.
Like, with the character's last names being colors to the imposter to the, it's so weird.
Mm-hmm. So
Coincidence? I think not.
Tal has asked, Allie, I have a question for you. How many podcast ideas do you have? Way too fucking many.
Too many.
Too many.
Too many.
Too many. And I'm going to come up with more, and everyone will continue to shout at me while I have all these podcasts in my hands. Like,
guys, I can't stop her on my own.
As long as I
We will
get to
help
audition for them all, I'm not gonna stop you.
Stop you. Please continue.
A Phoenix on our Discord, which I just love the name Phoenix because of our character, has said, I was honestly so happy it was Aveline. I wouldn't have been able to handle it if it was anyone else. Which is, can you imagine if it was anyone else as the host?
Yes.
It was G.
See, I keep telling you. He's hiding in the vents with the knife.
Let G say fuck.
When I wrote the show, I always wanted it to be like, it could be anyone. Everyone is shady as fuck. Because, like, you have Sawyer as being suspicious, you have Katie Bell as being, really suspicious, and then you have, like, Galatea Galatea, I feel like, was always kind of in the clear, but also still, you could see it. Like, all of them have this potential.
I think I was least suspicious because I had no idea the entire series. Because when I was cast, I was like, look, if I'm the host, tell me. If I'm not, don't, so I can act accordingly. So I genuinely didn't know until the read through of this episode.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, what? But I was least suspicious of Waverly of everyone, and then incredibly suspicious of everyone else.
Alright, you wanna share that story about?
Oh my good god. Yeah. So I originally also came into this not knowing, and Allie was like, "Hey, who wants to know?" And I was like, "Do not tell me." And then I was like, "Wait a second. Tell me if I really need to know because of a character thing, but otherwise, do not tell me." And I think Allie was originally gonna tell me, and then she was like, "You know what? No, I'm gonna see how long we can carry this out." And I went full-blown conspiracy theorist with this. I had like a whole document that I was like tracking like what hints were being put out, and like it was a whole thing. I was going to like end up like finishing it out after I figured it out, and then like publish it for you guys. Have not done that because mental health is shit, but it was a thing for a while. And then I accidentally spoiled it for myself. Because I came on as kind of a producer-ish role in the series, and I'm true to character. I just can't help but stick my nose in anything that is presented to me. So I was like, "Ooh, look at all of these new channels that I can look at on the server," and I ended up going through them, and then just kind of kept scrolling up, and didn't think that being in the writers' channel might give me spoilers, and then it did, and I was like, fuck.
Surprised because writers knowing what's going on in the show.
And Ellie had to laugh at me while I just had a little breakdown, realizing that I was the host the entire time.
Yeah, I did remember all that happening. I didn't know it was you that was the host at the time, which adds even more to it. But I do remember you just freaking out and being like, "God damn it!"
I think I either woke up or got off of work and like saw all these panic texts, like, "Please tell me it changed. Please tell me this isn't how it happened." And I was like, "Oops."
You got off of work. It was the middle of the day.
Yeah. I was
very upset for a while, but then I got really excited because I was like, haha, I get to be an awful person. And so, but oh my god, I was so upset for a while. Mostly because I was like, I wanted to figure this out myself. I don't remember who I thought it was because it happened around like episode, what, 3?
Episode 3, probably, yeah.
4?
3 or 4.
Something like that.
And Ari was like, originally when I had asked, "Oh, does anyone want to know if you're the host?" And Ari was like, "Even if I'm the host, I don't want to know." And I was like, all right. And Ari was going to be the only one I was going to tell. But then I ended up telling the other half of the cast and not Ari.
And then I was a dumbass and figured it out myself.
Best laid plans?
Through illegal means.
Oh.
Which I guess that just proves how good you are at casting.
I know. Like, the casting, hits the nail so many times. It's so amusing to watch, how, people overlap, especially Emmett with at the time Emmett was working in a lab. His favorite color is Cobe.
Yeah. So at the time I was working as a lab technician. I was in when I was casting for most of season 1. I didn't know what I was doing. I was extremely underqualified. And I still don't understand what happened there. I just know I got paid to give blood sometimes, every other month. They gave me $60 to be like, "Hey, can we have some of your blood?" And I was like,
that
"Money,
lab has
sure."
bats of Emmett clones.
That's so funny.
They may well do. I don't know. It was very, very. It was a weird place to work. It was very interesting, but it is very in character also for the show. Just mysterious lab who stole my blood sometimes.
We actually
Although I think as Mars, you're the one stealing people's blood.
I mean, for sure, yeah. I feel though, if you offered Mars $60, they would be like, fuck it, yeah.
Lindsay has a dog. I am so happy.
Oh, my pup has joined.
I love him. Whenever Lindsay posts pictures, I'm just like, yes, a good boy.
Get them on the overlay.
We actually have a question for Brad now, from Tall. A question for Brad. How difficult was it aligning the two KDs and shifting between them?
It honestly wasn't too bad because there's only 2 major instances where I had to do it. But I just posted a screenshot in the Discord server. There was some stuff that had to be faded out. There were a few words that I had to cut from one KD and give to another one just because of the pacing. It's a little bit different, and I couldn't quite scrunch it together without making it sound weird. But yeah, it honestly wasn't that hard. If you want to compare that with episode 5, which I'm still working on.
Episode 5 is a doozy.
Episode 5, we have stuff like this, which is just
horrific.
Madness.
There's how many
I'm
of us
sorry,
are
my
named
friend, but
Sirens?
that I'm looking at this, and that's a whole bunch of casserole of nonsense.
There's about
a lot.
6, 7 of us who play Sirens, and I think with the Sirens is it's a bunch of voices talking over each other as like a collective hive mind of chaos. So it's like
Oh.
so it's like, hey Brad,
Okay.
how do you feel about editing all these voices together?
It's
It was
turning
more
out
like,
really well.
hey,
but-
Brad, will you please edit all these voices together so we don't have to do it?
Yeah.
Do you want to take that on yourself? Do you want to do us a solid?
No, it is really fun. It gives me a lot of chance to play
Yeah,
around with a bunch of plugins.
I'm looking at that
And-
screenshot, and half my brain is like, oh no, that's terrifying. And the other half is like, can you please send me? Like, I want to put it on my DAW and just play around.
I'm gonna add on to the question.
That looks fun.
I'm gonna add on to the question a little bit for Lindsay. How is it like you came into the show taking on a character that's already been established, and you had to record like the whole scene, and that scene, Bio recorded that 2 years ago, because we found out like midway through season 1 that Bio was gonna have to leave the show because of like life conflicts and stuff. So 2 years later, Lindsay's recording the other half of that. How is that coming? First off, recording that scene, but also coming into the show as his character.
I was a little scared when I first started because I'd listened to the first season and I knew that I was going to be playing the same role that Bio had originated. So I was a little bit worried about like meeting where she was and still kind of putting my own little spin on Katie Bell Snow because technically she's a different person. And I think that scene was the very first thing I had to record. So I was like, all right, I'm just going to dive into it then. And so it was like an hour of me sitting with Bio's lines up, just being like, I have to match how she says it, but then I also have to act it. And I have to make sure that so it was a lot of like, I hope I'm doing it right. And then I got better as I went on, but it was a little intimidating when I first started. But everyone was so supportive and like welcoming to me and nice. So thank you all for welcoming me.
You're doing awesome. I'm so glad you're on the show as Katie Bell Snow, because like that scene is like one of my favorite scenes because it's like so cool hearing like the two of them like switching and stuff. But like you came into the show, you did so good bringing like the heart of Katie Bell, but also Katie Bell. We've seen Katie Bell Silver, and we've seen Snow coming through Silver, but it's always been kind of an act, and now we're seeing Snow in their raw form. This is who they are, and I think you bring so much life to the character in it. I'm really glad you came on.
Oh, thank you. I'm glad to be
I
here.
actually have a question somehow regarding Katie Bell's name. Okay. So how is it's still Katie Bell? Because also in like later episodes we know that it's been Katie Bell for at least a bit of time, and I can't figure that out in my head.
Happy coincidence. That's how we're writing it. Happy coincidence that her name was Katie Bell.
Great, love it.
Yeah. And I was like, I want to continue with the color last name. And I don't remember with me, Ari, or Arizona, I was like, let's go with Snow. That's still like a light color, but it's different from Silver. So yeah, honestly, it's just a coincidence that they have the same name. But her name was Katie Bell.
But maybe 3,000 years in the future, it's just incredibly popular.
Yeah.
I like the idea that like Katie Bell Snow was waiting for an assignment and then happened to see Katie Bell Silver was going to do this thing and thought, that'll be easy. I'll take that one.
Yeah.
I don't have to make up a name.
I love Katie Bell.
Great.
She's so chaotic and wonderful. And we're working on a spin-off which shows Katie Bell as a lot younger, and
Yay.
Lindsay and I did a little test thing with that, and it's gonna be really fun.
It's gonna be because I just asked for some lines to like practice a younger voice with, and then Allie just wrote a heartbreaking little scene. I messaged her like, I didn't need to cry. I just
Listen. Go big or go home. That's what I always say.
Go big or go home.
Yes.
I mean, it works.
It works. No, the scene will actually likely make it into the final script, at least in some form. It's, the script was when Katie Bell was caught, like, right after she was caught by the pirate crew. And so it's one of the characters talking with Katie Bell, trying to figure out, hey, where the fuck did you come from? The small child who is here. And Katie Bell's just like, you adults are dumb.
We adults can be dumb.
It's
yes,
true.
I agree on that one.
Listen, tiny Katie Bell is a cocky little thing, and I adore her.
There seems to be a running theme of small children just appearing in spaceships.
Small children.
Who here has lost a small child?
I love.
So the real question is, which one will get to say fuck?
Both?
Oh no.
Let G say fuck. Oh, trust.
It's me! G gets to say fuck!
Nick is actually in the other room.
Me and Nick have a campaign of letting. It's my favorite thing. Let G say fuck.
Thing since season 1. I feel like I remember hearing outtakes, Emmett, during your lines. You're just like, let G say fuck.
I think that's where it came from.
And it's just continued. Both Lindsay and Nick do such a great job playing small children because both of you are not small children, and I'm giving you like these like here's a child, have fun, and I adore both of you for being like, yeah, okay.
On a good day, I'm basically small.
Yeah, Nick is very short.
Nick is tiny. I'm gonna send a picture in a minute.
Oh, is it that picture?
Which picture? There's a lot of pictures. I'm gonna try.
Of like the two of you when
We first
you're
met.
just like that and Nick's like tiny.
Yeah, that's when we first met. I'm gonna find it. Because we've been friends for a while, and we met in person because we found out their mom lives in the same town that I graduated high school, and I was at my sister's graduation. And we were like, holy shit, you're in the same town as me. And they were like, you want to come over to my mom's house? I was like, no, let's go to IHOP tomorrow morning, though. Stranger danger. I don't know where the picture is, but I will find it. Before I do that, we should probably ask another question, or read another question, because I saw one that was written. Scrolling back up, because we've talked a little bit. A question from Tall for Lindsay. My heart, ouchie, why? Reasons, yeah. It's so good.
Yeah, the next episode is even more.
Mm-hmm. The next episode made me cry. Like, I was actually crying during the read.
I almost cried recording it.
I can't wait to like have the next episode released, because that's one of my favorite scenes, because it's kind of a spoiler, but it's Katie Bell and Waverly talking about their past and where they came from. And so Katie Bell shares how their planet was destroyed and where they came from, and it's the first time we're really seeing a lot into her past. And it's such a good scene, and it's so good, and it's so sad, and it's so much driven from my own life, and it's very, very good. And I cried. I cried at the table read.
And then you made Nico edit it.
Yes, I did.
Listen to the scene time after time.
Oh, I found the picture. Here is a picture in the live stream chat of me and my fiance. Because yes, I'm engaged to Nick. They are tiny.
I was about to say, you two look adorable.
Thanks, we're gay.
They're so cute.
I do want to talk about this also, because I took notes during the episode. Before that. Question for Allie, very serious. Will G ever say fuck? Yeah, of course. We have...
Sweet.
Of course.
Vindication.
Oh yeah, I've already started thinking about it, like how it's gonna happen. It'll happen. It'll probably happen Part of me wants to make it happen just once, but we'll see.
I think keeping it keeping G PG-13. They're allowed to say fuck, but only once.
You may have one fuck.
No, I mean, I'm pretty sure I sent Tall an audio file of G saying fuck many times. Many different
times.
ways. Including what we keep joking is the new word that Mars taught G, which is motherfucker.
Hey G, what's the new word
I have plans for that
Chris taught
audio.
you? Motherfucker.
I'm just gonna teach Nick all the weird Scottish swear words we have, and then just let them live with that knowledge.
I love in the scripts where I have to have Mars swearing, but I'm not familiar with like Scottish swears, so I'll just put it in like, here, go wild, have at it.
Most of the time, it's just get to fuck is like my go-to one for swearing generally. Get to fuck is there's also a wee and bail your heat, which is a very good, which is just literally go away and boil your head. It's so violent but so succinct. Those are my top 2 Scottish swears are just.
I want to talk about something really quickly in the episode is back with Katie Bell and Waverly, because that's a whole big scene that we see. Keep in note, this whole episode happens just moments after season 1 has ended. And in season 1, in that same day that this is all happening, just like hours probably before, Waverly has just learned that Katie Bell is a shapeshifter, because Waverly, before Joe revealed it, had no idea. She knew that Katie Bell was a pirate. She knew that Katie Bell wasn't who she said she was, but she didn't know that Katie Bell was a silver exactly. She didn't know all the details to everything. So I think it's interesting, like, how quickly she's accepted that Katie Bell is a shapeshifter. This is just who she is. What do you guys think about that?
Waverly's just ride or die.
Honestly, this is very true. I love how gentle Waverly is with Katie Bell. Because it's like...
It's so cute.
It's so cute. Also, the line, Waverly's like, I'll look out for you or something like that, and Katie Bell's like, how can you look, or I'll watch over you, and Katie Bell's like, how can you watch over me if I'm taller than you? It's like, yes. Which, keep in mind,
Still there.
Sawyer is, what was it, 6'8"? Waverly is like 6 foot something, and Katie Bell is taller than that.
Nice. A dream.
There are no there's no medium heights in this show. It's just tiny or massive. That's it.
You have tiny, compact Mars, and then tall, gangly Sawyer.
And then even taller Katie Bell as well.
Yeah. Like, I don't know, what do you guys think? Would Katie Bell be taller than Sawyer or shorter?
Yes.
I like
she
taller.
has to be taller.
I love our...
I need Sawyer to be shorter than at least one person. Give me this.
At least a little bit.
Katie Bell is taller, but she's clumsier.
In a future episode.
Katie Bell is just lanky, and I love it. She's doing her best.
I love Katie Bell.
Same.
I love the energy you've brought to her as well, Lindsay. It's so good.
Oh, thank you.
Going up towards the beginning of the episode. So Aveline's the host. Feel like we should talk about that a little bit more.
Yep, for sure.
Kind of an important plot point.
Yeah, because we end, like, it was 2 years ago that season 1 ended. It was, like, the fall of 2018. It's now the fall of 2020. We left everyone on a cliffhanger for that long. I'm so sorry.
Yep. We resolved it quick.
I mean, I guess we came back. Yeah.
Yeah, we did come back, and I'm glad we took the time we did, because I love the quality of our show now. It's so good.
Yeah.
This season we get a lot of lore. We get to see a lot of where Aveline came from. We get to see a lot more of Aveline and people connected to Aveline without saying everything. Partly related to an episode.
We get to connect with our bad guy now.
Yeah, we have our first real villain's been revealed.
Yeah.
Without spoilers, where do you see this all going?
Been for a trip. I feel like that sums it up.
Yeah, that sounds about right. It's gonna be a fun time. Actually,
fun time.
A very specific definition of fun for very specific people.
It's very fun
Mainly
for
Aveline.
No, not even
And
Aveline.
only
Just
Aveline.
Joe. Just Joe. Joe's the only one having a good time here.
Yeah.
Actually, one of our seasons is gonna be a prequel season where we see where Aveline came from. Because we also learn in this episode, because we've all through season 1 we've heard about this mysterious family, this group that's been behind everything, and then we learn that Tala is a part of this family, but we don't know all the details to it. And then in Tala's prequel or like bonus episode, we see a little bit more into this family, but we still don't know a lot about them. And then in this episode, we've just learned Aveline is one of the original members of this family. So, we'll see in this further season down the line exactly how and why they formed. Because we hear about it this season, but we're actually going to see it happen, and I'm excited.
Mm-hmm.
It's a fun season.
Am I in that?
Yes, you are.
Okay.
It'd be a bit weird if you weren't.
Well, I didn't know how far back it was. I think it's been floated around for a while. I just couldn't remember. Wow, a not fucked up Aveline. Can't picture it.
I mean,
It's
still
still
fucked
kinda
up, but
fucked
a
up,
different
but,
kind
like-
of fucked up.
Yeah. A more like normal, acceptable way of being fucked up. Now she's just like, haha, I'm gonna murder people and like kidnap them for funsies. Well, yeah, no, she does murder people.
Hello there, everybody on this ship. I want to play a game.
Yeah.
God.
Aveline just wants to have
Came
a
out
good
to
time.
attack people, and I'm honestly having a great time right now.
If anyone has questions, please feel free to ask, or else we're just gonna keep rambling about the episode.
I was about to say, I know I got to take care of some house chores pretty soon, so I'm going to be dipping out pretty soon.
No worries.
Thank you all for like this. This is awesome. It was a pleasure joining y'all on this. I'm hyped for season 2. I really am. This is awesome.
Thank you for joining us. I'm so excited for this season.
Thank you for having me. Y'all have yourselves a wonderful rest of y'all's day today. All right.
See you later, friend.
You too.
Ciao.
See ya.
And then there were 6.
And then there was
I
actually
was
there's
about to say the exact same thing.
there's 6 of us left because Nico also I think
Yeah.
Nico's internet cut out.
Internet fully died. Yeah.
Yeet.
R.I.P.
Joe's a little shit in this episode.
Joe's always
Isn't Joe a little shit?
I love Joe. Joe is just like, haha, kinky. And everyone's like, what the fuck? You just got shot. Why are you making these comments right now?
Because
Joe.
Joe somehow went from like threatening antagonist to just very
A
aggressive peanut
nuisance.
gallery.
The question is
Yeah,
why.
I will
The
admit
answer
they're
is
one of my
Joe.
favorite characters in the series.
Joe is the person in Among Us who isn't the imposter, but basically is because they're just there to start shit.
Joe is me when I meet people in Among Us and we're like ride or die, and so they end up being the imposter. I'm like, yeah, okay, I'm down.
Yeah.
Alrighty, let's go then.
Let's be evil.
Mm-hmm. I still want to play Among Us with the whole cast.
Oh, same. The
I've
cast.
never played Among Us, and I really want to.
It's so much fun. I've met like a group of people. Everyone is queer, and it's wonderful.
Yeah.
And then collectively, when the group I play with, will start a room. And then if people are being assholes, we're like, okay, bye! It just came out.
I mostly play with some of my friends and like their mutual friends. But the thing is, we keep being in a situation where everyone else has either been murdered or been voted off. So it's me and like 2 other people. And I'm never the imposter. And I have to make the deciding vote.
Oh,
but
no.
people keep putting me in that position, but I'm a himbo. I don't know things. I have no, like, reasoning. Like, I can't decide, so I just click someone and it's always the wrong person. And then the people keep blaming me, and I'm like, listen, you guys put me in this position. I'm a himbo. It's not my fault.
You're doing your best, and we appreciate it, even though everyone has died.
Yep.
I love those games where it's like, we won, but at what cost?
Yep.
So we're gonna see Mars is doing some lab stuff on Aveline. Mars is trying to figure out what the fuck Aveline is. Because that's the other thing we learned. Because in season 1 it was also like, I think the host might be a shapeshifter. And then we see, oh shit, they are a shapeshifter.
Yeah.
But
and then it's fully like, if Aveline's an original head of the family, how fucking old must she be?
Yeah, because you have to
ancient.
You have to keep in mind Aveline's species at this point is not shapeshifters. But this is also Aveline's true form. So it's like, how far back does that go? Especially because like the whole kind of universe is hating on shapeshifters and stuff. There's that prejudice against people who are shapeshifters, and Katie Bell like is faced the brunt of that, and you see how scared she is that she's been found out. So it's like the Aveline species would have already been like probably attacked as well, or at least have faced some of what Katie Bell has seen, but we haven't seen that, and that's because the shapeshifting trait isn't in the species anymore. So we get to learn more about that, and it's really, really fun.
Yeah.
It's terrifying.
Mm-hmm.
That's what it is.
But,
yes.
But this is genuinely Aveline's true form. Aveline likes to be in her true form because she's like, this is me. But she'll shapeshift if she needs to.
I think that's very sexy of her. Very evil and very sexy of her.
Here's a fun fact. I don't know if I've ever talked about it a whole lot. In the very first episode, they're all talking and they're all meeting and stuff, and Katie Bell says this line, someone was like, oh, shapeshifters, they're talking about shapeshifters. Oh, can you imagine if one of them tried to be me? Which is what Galatea was saying. And Katie Bell was like, oh, no one could ever pretend to be you. It's practically impossible. And I like to headcanon that Katie Bell has tried to be Galatea, just got caught right away. It's like, cool, never again.
There was just like
I
maybe
a week
of weird headlines of Galatea Ivory seen in Fantasy Olive Garden. Why is she there? She's very rich. We don't know.
Sometimes you just need the breadsticks.
Yeah,
it's all go to
Fantasy
Olive Garden.
I'm here for
the true reason for the family, eating food for eternity.
Yeah. This is how I tempt people in.
Isn't there a slogan, when you're here, your family?
Oh.
Oh, God, there is.
Oh.
I've never
Plot
been to
twist.
Olive Garden.
Plot twist. Family.
I have heard of Olive Garden 3 times in my life. It's such a legendary place that I know nothing about other than breadsticks and their slogan.
Their breadsticks are
That's
really
all
good.
I know.
I just know it's very bad Italian.
Yeah, it's
Yes. I've never been.
it's good.
I think the best description of Olive Garden I've ever heard is it's good if you go with the intent that it is not Italian food.
Yeah. Also, we went with my friends once, and one of my friends found a piece of wood in his food. So do with that information what you will. And they didn't even refund it. They're like, here's a coupon for like half the price of the meal, and here's a new one. It's like, cool.
I just like when you get the random noodle that's not what you ordered in your noodles.
That actually happened with my friend at a different Italian place here in town. Because we went there because specifically they had gluten-free pasta, and they ended up mixing the regular pasta in with it by accident, and it turned into a thing. And I'm pretty sure he had an allergic reaction.
No.
But he was fine. He didn't die.
That's good.
That's good.
Always
that's
good news that
always-
someone didn't die.
I mean, when you have Aveline in the mix, someone's bound to wind up dead at some point.
Eventually.
You just left on time. You had a lucky escape.
The fact that she lives for fucking forever, like, odds are you're gonna see someone die in your presence at some point.
Oh,
Aveline is literally just that one.
She just
Tumblr
speeds up
post
that
of,
process.
I'm immortal until proven otherwise.
Uh-huh. Oh,
She
Aveline
hasn't
has
died yet.
absolutely killed people before.
Yeah.
Oh, 100%. Yeah.
Absolutely. I'm pretty sure all of them at some point have resulted in someone's death. Like,
Mars is
Except maybe
literally committed genocide, so yes.
yes.
Yeah.
I mean, Katie Bell has even admitted to killing someone before. Which we don't ever talk about.
Pirate.
And then pirate. And then she lies to Waverly when Waverly's like, have you killed anyone? And Katie Bell's, no, I haven't. But then, like, an episode before you hear that, she's like, yeah, I've
She
killed
has.
people. So it'll be interesting to see if that ever, like, gets talked about. Because it's like, dude. But there's a lot going on, so it's not exactly the most pressing thing at the point. I love our characters.
I love Aveline, and also listening back to all of season 1.
Yes.
Like, once I knew when we were doing the live streams, I was just always like, Allie, what the fuck? What? And then some things I fully didn't pick up on, and you texted me like, haha, and I was like, oh my god. So I would encourage all of you to re-listen to season 1 because it's
Yeah, once you
very
know.
good and very interesting.
Once you know, you can start picking up on these little details. And at some point, I'm gonna go through and, like, piece together where everyone, like, talked about, like, all the clues. And here are some
My
clues.
hint sheet that I never got around to.
Do you guys want to talk about some of the clues, or do you want to talk about something different?
Yeah.
Okay.
I want to.
So here's some fun stories about Aveline. The very first scene with Aveline is her ship about to crash because the AI threw itself into the sun. That actually happened. It was not about part of the plan. The AI knows, like, they have AI who work for the family, you know? They're in charge of, they have that. Of course they do. This AI knew what Aveline has done to Tala. It was like, fuck you, and just threw itself into the sun. It was like, bye!
Just like, your vibes are so rancid, I'd rather die.
I feel for that AI.
Honestly, good call.
I want to be this AI's friend.
Mm-hmm. And also, like, a lot of times you see Aveline just goes off by herself. And you also, like, there's a lot of scenes we don't see. When Aveline, from the point where Tala's like, oh, if you go this way, this is where the party is, until we see, like, hear the music and going and stuff, there's a whole scene there we don't see. Like, there's a chunk of time missing. I don't know if anyone's picked up on that. But at that point, from when Aveline has gone onto the station, and the point we don't see is Aveline locking down the station and, like, beginning everything. And a lot of times there's like chunks of time where like that time when Waverly and Katie Bell and Aveline went to go search. And when they found like the hidden wall or whatever, that Katie Bell's like, haha, it's a secret door, and like walked through the wall, and they're like, the fuck? So Aveline turns on her glows so she can, because they're trying to find the blood, I think was what was happening. Yeah, that sounds about right.
So, yeah.
And they're like, ah, shit, this blood glows in the dark. We can't see it with you here. Here, just go around the corner and we're gonna look for it. But they never go back to grab Aveline. And Aveline's kind of just left on her own, and they never talk about where she went. Because she's always, like, by herself a lot of the times. And, like, later on when we have that time jump, we hear that, like, Aveline has been one of the only ones searching around and stuff, and Aveline's always pushing them, hey, let's go search, let's go do something. She's always pulling on those strings, manipulating everyone to go certain ways.
It's like, I want someone to die, please.
Someone
One of you
fucking
step
do
into the
something.
spike trap.
Can someone please
Come
go
on,
be
I took this
stupid,
entire place.
please?
Yeah, who's in charge of holding the
Like
idiot
hurting
ball?
cats.
Aveline is doing her best, and then she's also really not.
Really not.
Really not. But yeah, there's a lot of, like, things that she says that doesn't add up. She knows too much. She always knows too much. And she knows her way around the station a lot, because they kind of have, I think it was kind of established they have 2 or 3 maps. But Aveline's never seen with one of the maps. She just wanders around, and you figure, oh, well, maybe she just wandered around and found her way. But, like, here's the thing, the station is fucking huge. It's, like, kind of the size of a small planet, I guess. Probably a little smaller than that.
What?
It's not the, like a moon. Like a moon size.
That's no
moon. That's still big. That's very
Large.
big. I thought you were gonna say the size of, like, a football stadium.
Yeah, I don't know.
Maybe 2 football stadiums.
No,
Between
I
a
was
meteor
gonna
size and
guess
the
like
small
a
moon.
building.
It can easily, like, the thing is, this station is designed to hold, like, hundreds to thousands of people there. Like, it's
Sirius
made for
Station's the
large.
Death Star.
It's there to hold big, extravagant events. That's why there's so many rooms, and that's why everyone gets so lost, is because the station is huge. And it's really odd that there's only this small group of people in this huge station. Plus also rooms moving around, and hidden doors, and falling into pools in the library, because I love Doctor Who.
Yes! Thank you.
There are a
I'm
lot of
here
hints.
for this.
There are a lot of hints for other, like, shows and stuff that I like. There's, like, a blue door, and you're looking for room 369, or was it, well, 359?
359.
Yeah.
359.
You're gonna go past the
Yeah.
room 359. Don't ask what's behind the blue door. I don't know. Also...
Well, is it 359 or 359? Because those two are 2 different references.
359, I think.
359 is Star Trek, 359 is the podcast.
359.
There's a
I mean,
difference.
it can be both. It can be both.
Both is good.
There's a difference.
There's also a reference to Starship Iris in the whole, like, series, which actually made its way into Novi Terra also, because I wrote some of Novi Terra. Sawyer talks about the Iris sector, which is spelled the exact same way as Starship Iris. And then there's also kind of a reference later on in the show to Alice Isn't Dead, because they talk about the Alice sector. So there's a lot of references to, like, other shows and little Easter eggs. In season 2, we're going to hear a lot more of how the other shows connect into the story, because this is a multi-show universe. You have Ozma and Novi Terra taking place about 1,000 years before. And so you get to see, like, more references to that. You get to see more an established species that Lenny's come up with into coming into the show, which even in this season we do with some of the pirate crew. It's fun times.
It's very exciting, and I'm looking forward to all of it.
Mm-hmm. Also, okay, if Mars had had more time, Mars absolutely would have figured out who the host was.
Yeah, like one more day.
Yeah, not
Maybe
even
2
one more
days.
day. Like, just a few more hours of not impending doom. Because, like, at the very end, when Aveline has... I think at the point when Aveline came back covered in all the oil, in all the fuel and stuff.
Yeah.
That's...
And had just fucking disappeared. Mars was like...
Because Mars was already suspicious.
Mars like that.
Mars didn't trust anyone, including Aveline. Mars was already suspicious of Aveline because Aveline tried to throw Mars under the bus a little bit. And then at that point, when she's shown up again, they're starting to make the connections. But there's also the impending doom and hurrying, so they weren't able to figure it out quite yet. But they were on the very verge of figuring out what Galatea has already figured out. Galatea figured it out first. Mars was going to be second. And who knows whenever anyone else was going to figure it out because they're a bunch of dumbasses.
I feel like Tala
Aveline
would've
really
gotten
knows how to
there.
pick them.
I feel like Sawyer would have been last.
Yeah. G would have figured it out before Sawyer, let's be honest.
Like, everyone would have. And Sawyer just going there like, I wonder.
I mean, G's been in the vents. G's everywhere.
G is a hive mind at this point.
There should be like a meanwhile mini episode of the things G heard in the vents.
That's actually a very good idea.
Tala's asked, is Sawyer a himbo?
No, he's just dumb.
I think he's just dumb.
Yeah. Now, is this Emmett speaking or is this Mars?
Yes.
Yes.
Me as Emmett, I like Sawyer so much, but as Mars, I have to hate him.
I feel like Ellery would be a himbo, though.
Yeah. Is Ellery buff, though?
I mean, sure.
Does he respect women?
Of course. Ellery's very respectful.
Okay. Good.
He'd better.
What did the dog do? Our dogs were whining at the door.
Delilah had Bear trapped in another room.
Bear doesn't like to walk on the tile.
This wasn't even the tile.
Was it?
No, it was the carpeted hallway.
And so Bear just starts whining.
Baby.
It's literally like
Poor
having
thing.
a house full of children.
Uh-huh.
We rearranged some of the furniture in the house today, and the cat, like, the dog is so fucking confused. He's just like, where do I sit?
This smells right, but it's not in the right place.
Yeah.
Also, Emmett,
Oh,
your
that's
camera's
like
frozen.
moving the cat's
Oh.
litter box around. It's a nightmare. I'm a cat person. I have cats. I don't do dogs. But I have little cats. My mom has little cats. And like until they were big enough to go upstairs to where we want to put the litter box, we had to get it by stages up there. So for 3 days it was in the center of the staircase. It was lovely. Had to climb around it every time I wanted to go to my room.
Out of all of them, who would have a cat?
Tala.
Aveline would have a cat and they'd just have a stare off
Yes.
the entire time.
Yeah.
Like mutual respect, but also just kind of despise each other.
Yeah, sounds about right.
The Sun Yeet AI would have a cat. That's my
Yes.
headcanon. That's my headcanon. I love AI, for the record. I have a soft spot for AI. AIs are my favorite automatically. So, therefore, they get cats.
Yes. Well, we already know Waverly has dogs, and by virtue of that, Katie Bell has dogs now.
Yes.
Yes.
That's how it works.
But what if Katie Bell had cats, and now the dogs and cats have to get along?
What
That's
if the
another
cats are bigger
spin-off
than
we should
Waverly's
do.
dogs?
Which also
Waverly like ride around her dogs.
Yeah, Waverly rides
Yeah.
her dogs.
They're like so big. They're horses.
I mean, they're bigger than
Horse
horses.
dog.
Because Waverly
What
is
if they
over
do?
6 foot.
What if they do get to Waverly's planet and Mars is just like, that's just a horse. Who did you get horses?
But they just call it dog.
Yeah.
Maybe it's an
Arboreal too,
actual
though,
horse,
because
but his name is Dog. Like in Good Omens, how the dog's named Dog.
Yes.
But it's a horse.
Doesn't what happened to the dog creature thing that's on the station?
Oh, that was Joe.
Still there.
It's fine and well.
That was
alive
Joe.
and well.
Was that Joe? Just
Why
run
do you
along with
ask?
that.
Yeah, that monster was Joe.
Oh, okay.
Oh. So then
Then
yes,
maybe
it's
not
still
so
out there.
alive and well.
Yeah, very much alive and well. Currently shot.
Dog
but,
does not die.
Oh yeah.
Joe does.
Never ever.
Mars will have their revenge.
It'll be interesting to see what happens to everyone, because I don't know how Joe is gonna end up. I know Joe is likely gonna die. I just don't know how
Enemies
yet.
to lovers.
Yes!
Slow burn. Mars X Joe. No.
No, there's no.
Shut it down immediately.
Shut that down. Close up shop. Nope, go
Nah.
home.
Mars has probably had that thought and then gone,
No.
no. No.
And the episode, really quickly, so it's very heavily implied that Tala and Aveline dated. It's never gonna be outright said, because I don't think it really needs to be. But you hear in this episode, and we hear in the next episode, but especially in this episode specifically, Tala says, me and Aveline were, and then she pauses, really close. And then...
The gay pause.
Yeah, and then there's like also... in the next episode we hear more about their relationship together and stuff. And it's kind of like... It was never outright said that they're dating, but it was also very much they were, you know? Also, both of them are demisexual, so it's one of those, do I like you or are you just friends? Because it's...
I was fist bumping the air for the record.
Because my demisexual
Like, yay, Demi.
ass, just a whole ass mood of, do you like me or are we just friends? Are these feelings or is this just friendship? I don't know.
Or is it anxiety? Sometimes you have to
Yes,
ask
also
that
true.
question as well.
Or am I just so scared of you that I think I like you, but actually I'm intimidated, and then I'll just, like, go...
Both is good.
Are you hot because you're scary, or are you scary because you're hot?
Yes.
Yep.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes. But yeah, it's kind of like we get to hear a lot more of like relationships that this season's a lot of relationships, you know, the good, the bad, the loving, the abusive. We see a lot of people coming together, people separated even more. We get to see a lot more one-on-one, and I think it's really nice. I think that's the word. We get to see more character development this season, and I really like it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I would agree.
Speaking of relationships, I'm very excited to get started on the next episode I have queued up to work on, because it's a bunch of relationships that I'm excited to see to hear happen.
Which episode is it?
Because it's like 7.
Oh yeah.
Ooh, yeah.
I need to.
Yeah.
Get.
I have most of the lines. I'm ready. Let's go.
Yeah, there's gonna be some pickups.
It's that
for it.
in on
I
the
just
read through from that.
haven't written all that out.
Is it sad that I just recorded for 7 and 8? I don't remember what episode 7 is.
Pirates.
Oh,
I
yes.
just downloaded your lines the other day. I put them in the correct folder as we were booting up the stream because I noticed they were just sitting in my downloads.
But yeah, just a heads up, there's gonna be some pickups for episode 7 at the very least. I gotta like actually listen through it. I've been kind of sick this week and then stressed, and then you know, we're making it through.
Yeah.
Fun.
Life happened.
Life happened.
We
That's
have a
so
mid-season break. We'll be fine.
Yeah, no. It goes
I
to
still need
episode.
to get lines to you for it because life also happened for me.
I need to record also. So this season is gonna go. We're releasing every other week. So we're gonna go through to episode 5, which is like first week, second week in December, and then we're taking the rest of the year off, which is just a few weeks. And then the very first full week in the new year is when the next half of the season will start releasing. And then we have season 3, and then we have our prequel season, and then we have our final season. And then I'm gonna cry many, many times.
And then maybe we'll sleep a little bit, you know?
Nah.
Maybe a nap.
I'm never
after that
sleeping.
one.
3 more podcasts.
Like a 15-minute nap, you know? Nothing big.
Okay,
Let's
15
be
minutes
reasonable.
is just decadent.
It takes me 15 minutes to fall asleep sometimes.
It does not.
Sometimes. Keyword sometimes. Other times it takes me 5 and I'm out.
I still love when I get messages from Tall. Make Allie go to bed.
This does happen.
Yeah, it tells like that.
And I'm like, I'm already in bed, half asleep. She's your problem.
I'm so excited for everyone to hear the next episode. It's so good.
I am also excited, mostly because I'm nervous excited, because but you know.
Vaguely remember what happened.
This is the first thing that I edited that isn't mine.
Mm-hmm.
That people are gonna hear, like that I didn't do the entirety of.
We get
So I'm very excited.
the next episode. We get a flashback. We get to learn about Katie Bell and Waverly, and we get to learn more about Tala and Aveline. That's pretty much the gist of the episode. It's a good episode. And then and then we
it was very fun.
Yeah. It's a good time. Also, Tala's saying in the chat, Allie, you need sleep, and you know, that doesn't sound real. That doesn't sound like a fact that I need.
Tall, I've tried.
No, you do.
No.
Sometimes I give her Benadryl, but then she doesn't like waking up the next morning.
Yeah, give me Benadryl. I'm fucking out. I am a lightweight. It doesn't take much. I'm trying to look at my notes again. I want to go back to Waverly and Katie Bell because just my heart.
Okay.
It's so good. I love, I love that ending. How we say goodbye to Silver. Bio actually surprised me with that. They recorded it and just kind of put it in there. I was like, oh, cool, okay. And then we ended up using it. And it's kind of, I like to think of it as, like, this is, like, one of the final recordings that, like, Silver had or whatever before she died. Which Snow did not kill Silver. I feel like we need to reiterate that. Snow did not kill Silver, but she also hid the body.
Not quite murder, but still not great.
Yeah.
Just a bit sketchy. It's like we've all hidden a body
It's
at some point.
murder adjacent.
Murder
you know?
adjacent. And then Aveline got her hands on the body. I was like, all right, here's a test subject for all of my traps and stuff. Which is how their face got acid on it and burnt off.
Ouch. I forgot about that.
Yeah. I mean,
Right.
she's already
Yeah.
dead. But also, it's not great.
It's not
It's not
good.
And also, like, the last time Snow saw her, she's like, nope. Cool. I'm gonna leave now, goodbye.
Snow's like, shit.
Kathleen's like, how can I insert a little bit more trauma?
Casual trauma on my space station?
Yeah, sure.
That's the goal, baby.
In this economy?
They all need therapy. They all desperately need therapy.
Yeah.
I think that was a thing even before Aveline started putting them through all this.
Yeah. They all just need therapy in general.
Plot twist, the end of episode 10 is Aveline revealing she's secretly been a therapist this entire time. This was just...
This is how she's been
Like,
analyzing
it's
her
all for
trauma.
their benefit, you know? We're just trying to speed up the process of getting them to a therapist.
Yeah. Speed
I think the only one who's okay right now is G.
I mean, no.
Is G okay?
I mean,
no.
You almost die.
Just wait until the end of season 2. Then the answer to that question might change a little bit.
Oh yeah.
What the end of season 2 is.
Which no one's gotten the script for that yet, because I have to write episode 9 still. Episode 10 is finished. It just needs to be edited, but
That's also one of mine. I'm excited. Let's go.
I'm fully prepared for everyone to yell at me. It's gonna be fun.
I already have.
Yeah,
I haven't read it yet. I'm excited.
It ends with a bunch of redacted things that I can't say on the stream.
Hooray. As all good things should be.
All good things. Also,
it's G with the knife in a bear suit in the vents.
Yes.
That's always the answer.
Which also, if you listen to Jupiter's episodes, Jupiter's logs that have gone out, it gives you a sneak peek at what happens later in the season. The very last episode takes place a little bit before they show up. So if you want a sneak peek, and this is more for like audience sake, because everyone here already knows what happens. If you want a sneak peek at what's gonna happen and what kind of shit's gonna happen later on in the season, listen to the very last Jupiter log, because holy shit.
The second you said Jupiter logs, I didn't have the immediate instinct to just go wah because of the space whales.
Void sharks.
Void sharks! I love the void sharks.
Void sharks. That's the thing.
Brad
That's
has also left at some point.
What did Brad call them? The wah bra.
Bra bra. Yeah. I think a lot of the season with Katie Bell, we're gonna see her learning to accept herself, and I think that's gonna be a big arc for Katie Bell, is like accepting that she is a shapeshifter, accepting that this is who she is. Because like as a kid, she had to shapeshift to kind of survive, you know, something that's been incredibly painful. But then there's also the whole, wow, we're gonna fucking kill shapeshifters because can't trust those people. So we really see a lot of that in this episode, is like, you won't love me if I'm not her. Which really shows like how much like work she has in her own self-acceptance.
Yeah.
And I think this is also the first time she's been unable to shapeshift. Like, it's always been difficult, it's always been incredibly painful. She's probably found some way to deal with the pain, but because of everything that's happened, she's now in this place where she can't, and she's stuck in kind of a really vulnerable position where people will recognize her species and be like, ah, that's a shapeshifter. So I'm excited to see how she grows, specifically her, because like she's such, I love Katie Bell. She's so good. She needs a hug.
I have biology questions. I have shapeshifting biology questions. My brain is going. If say a shapeshifter is giving birth. They are giving birth in their natural form, in their true form. Then you've got another one who's giving birth shifted to look like a different species. Then you've got two more who are the same, but one of the babies was, I'm thinking a lot, I'm sorry. One of the babies was, I forget the word started, I'm sorry, it's late.
There's mental, physical, and
biological.
Yes, thank you.
Yeah. So, like, what if the parents had the baby while they were shifted versus in their true form? Like, how's the baby born? Is my question.
It depends on the type of shapeshifter. If they're a biological shapeshifter,
I love that you have an answer. Yes, please go ahead.
Listen, I have thought about this a little bit, I think, maybe.
I'm glad.
I've at least thought about how it works, like how their biology will work, how shapeshifting work. If they're a biological shapeshifter, I imagine if they're pregnant, they can shapeshift the infant. At least to some, depending on like how young it is and how like developed it is, if that makes any sense. If you're like Katie Bell's, it's probably more of a risk to shapeshift because of like how painful it is for the species, that actually would put like a lot of trauma on the kid. So I imagine they don't really do that very much if they're pregnant, but if they do, they can. They probably could, through the placenta, shapeshift the fetus. If they're a physical shapeshifter, it'll just come out how their natural form is, because physical shapeshifters they can only change their physical shape. They can't change their biology. So since this kid hasn't shapeshifted, they'll just come out how they would do. And then mental, they don't even shapeshift at all. They just present a mental image if you're a true mental shapeshifter. And again, it'll just come out how it is. If they're like a mix, if you're like Joe's species, Joe's of physical and mental probably would come out like the same. And if you have like two different crosses of like shape-shifting species, I think it would just depend on which gene was dominant, if that makes any sense. Genetics. I like genetics. I always think of that, like, is it called a Punnett square? Mm-hmm. Yeah. I always think of the Punnett square when I'm thinking of like recessive and dominant traits, because my 8th grade science teacher drilled that into my head, and it was like my favorite part of science was Punnett squares. Do not ask me why.
Yeah, same. Same. No, it's fun.
I love Punnett squares. So it just kind of depends on like which genes are dominant, I guess. But yeah. Aveline is a physical shapeshifter. Aveline can only change her physical form. But when she was younger, when it was like more of a common thing, it was kind of a recessive gene. Like you would have blue eyes or red hair. It's like it's common enough that it's not uncommon, but it's also not something that everyone has, and so it eventually dies out in the species. But then you also have Katie Bell, who's a biological shapeshifter. Her species, everyone's a shapeshifter, but because of like how they were designed, which we're gonna learn more about in season 3, we get to learn a lot more about Katie Bell in upcoming seasons. About like we get to see where her species came from, because there's more to her than I think even she realizes. Which if you guys want, I'll tell you after the stream. But like her species still like they changed like their DNA, like every single cell, which is like incredibly painful, because imagine like reshaping your DNA and everything that makes up you.
Regenerating, if you will.
Yeah.
Speaking of swimming pools and libraries.
But they always have like this thing, like the clone gene. It's like the marker that they're a shapeshifter, which is what Mars found out when Mars was studying their DNA, which I love the fact that Mars has like taken everyone's DNA.
I mean, of course they have. Mm-hmm. Like, probably half of them don't even know Mars has done that, but like, of course they have.
Which is interesting that like Mars didn't figure out Aveline sooner, but like you think probably Aveline wasn't very much on the high of their list of like who to look at first.
Yeah. I feel like the first person on the list was Sawyer, obviously. I don't need to go into detail of why. Shady motherfucker. And then probably Galatea. Then Aveline, and then probably Waverly, then Katie Bell.
No, I feel like Katie Bell was a lot higher up because of... Or Katie Bell at
possibly.
Least... Or at the very least, Katie Bell moved up once they found the body.
Yes. Katie Bell probably at the start was like low level because like, haha, funny jokes. And then after that was like, funny jokes and maybe murder.
Sometimes murder is the funny joke.
That's just a good tagline for something.
I feel like there's not as many puns this season, and that makes me sad because she needs more puns. But I felt like every time I tried to add some, it's like, this is not appropriate. And I know she doesn't tell jokes in the appropriate time, but this is really not appropriate.
Just add like
the drama is too high.
Yeah.
Twice as many in the prequel season or the pirate spin-off.
Oh,
even.
Absolutely. We're gonna see so many puns in the spin-off. It's gonna be wonderful.
Baby Katie Bell is just line after line after line.
Baby Bell Snow is a punner.
Baby Bell Snow.
I made that. I tried to pardon. I tried to make that joke in the server while I was out, but yeah, I had to.
That's so good.
Baby Bell Snow.
I just want to go get one of the baby bells out of the fridge now.
Yes. See, Lindsay, now you have to change your nickname to Baby Bell Snow.
Yes.
Right now. Do it now.
Also, and like we get to see like we're gonna talk about the spinoff for a little bit, because I need a writing wise where I am right now is I need to write episode 9 because dear God I need to write that, and then I'm gonna work on the outline for the spinoff because NaNoWriMo's coming, which I'm gonna do as my Nano project and probably cry a lot because Nano, but we get to see a lot of where Katie Bell came from.
Take a nap.
Yeah.
Nah, it's Nano. What are you talking about?
No one takes naps in Nano. That's impossible. Also, please know
No,
I have
no
baby
sleep
bells now.
November.
I have baby bells. They're mozzarella baby bells because I don't even like I like the regular baby bells, but I like mozzarella cheese a lot better. So don't mind me while I eat some cheese because I love cheese.
Should the rest of us just speculate about the spin-off while you're doing that?
I mean, I can talk while I eat cheese. It's not like my mouth is gonna be full. It's not like they're very big pieces of cheese. But yeah, go ahead, speculate. Tell me what you think.
Well, I don't know. I will get back to you after I finish working on that episode.
I can't speculate. I know
And then
too
I will
much.
have speculations.
We get to see a lot of where Katie Bell came from. We get to see a lot of, not necessarily a rougher Katie Bell, but also rougher Katie Bell. Right? With that? Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, you can't be soft when you're a pirate.
Mm-hmm. But also, like,
You-
before she became a pirate, even, her surviving by
Yeah.
herself.
Yeah. She's a tough little kid.
I want to pull up that script really quick, because, like, it's really good. Do. Oh, also, the show is going to be called Written in Stardust.
Oh, that's very good.
I was there for that conversation. I was
Yeah,
there.
it was in one of Tall's Discord servers, I think.
Yeah.
And I was like, please help.
Fiction Podcast Creator Corner. If you make podcasts, come join us.
Oh, I'm in that. I just don't.
Yeah.
I actually, when I was
I've been in so many Discords.
I was like, oh, hey, do you want, like, me to write something? And Lindsay was like, yes, please. That's gonna be so much easier than me trying to go through and find lines. So I wrote this scene between Nefeli and Katie Bell. And it's just small child. It's an emotional scene.
It's so good.
It's so good. I would play it, but I don't have the other half of the conversation, so it'd be kind of weird to just play half of it. But she's like, she tries really hard to act tough. And everyone's like, and everybody's like, you were a small child, and
you're baby.
And Katie Bell's like, no, I'm not.
Pretty much.
The smallest of cheese.
One of my favorite lines is, So Katie Bell's nervous. Did you see that crash that happened last night? And in parentheses, because when I write my scripts, I always put, like, words, like, or sentences sometimes to kind of give, like, the emphasis on the episode. So in parentheses, I just go, oh, sweet Jesus. And then the fella's just like, yeah, I saw the ship come down. And Katie Bell's like, yeah, well, turns out you should probably know how to fly a ship before stealing one. It's like, oh, sweet child.
I love that she just went and was like, I can do this. This isn't that hard. I can fly it.
She's like, yeah, what's the worst
Well,
thing
like
that
it's
happened?
hard. It's not rocket science. Somebody already scienced it. I'm just moving the science around.
That reminds me of this line. And
It's already a big block of science.
That reminds me of this line in the 100 before the 100 kind of turned to shit. In one of the first seasons, Clark was like, dealing with rocket fuel because Raven couldn't do it. And Raven's like, what? It's not rocket science. And Clark is just like, it literally is rocket science. So thank you for bringing me back to that.
Yeah.
There's that one post, I can't remember if it's Twitter or Tumblr or something, of like someone trying ballroom dancing, and the teacher was like, okay, it's not rocket science, it's fine. And the guy was like, okay, if it was rocket science, it would be fine because I literally work for NASA. This is more difficult.
Yeah.
But yeah, Katie Bell, no idea how to fly a ship. It was like, yeah, okay, I'm gonna try this, and then crashes into the moon, which is what we hear about in the next episode. Katie Bell talking about her past and where she came from, and then in the scene, I drew a lot from that, like specifics. Also, she had a girlfriend. It's really cute. You don't ever see it.
Yay.
But it was there.
Baby gaze.
It's such an emotional scene.
Baby gay snow? It's getting a little too far from the original to
Baby
make
Bill
sense
Snow.
now. Baby gay snow.
I can't wait for the spinoff. We also get to see like where her vocal things come from, because like you know how they all have like their phrases and stuff. Like the saying "Oh stars." If you listen to the Pirate Crew, specifically in episode 7, you have Adler and Theodoric both say "Oh stars." That's their phrase. That's actually the pretty common phrase in this universe. You have Alaria. She's more the "oh shit" kind of type of person.
Hell yeah.
And then you also have Nefeli, who goes, her thing is not "oh stars," her thing is "oh gods," which has to do with like where she came from. Which I'm not going to give spoilers on that, but we get to see a lot of where we learn a bit more about Nefeli in this episode, but specifically a lot more in the pirate spinoff. And actually no, I can't say. That's a big spoiler. That's a big spoiler I'm trying to avoid. We get to learn more.
Then to derail us off the spoiler, what's y'all's stars, gods, what have you phrase? What's your personal favorite?
I mean,
just aggressive swearing.
Yeah. I'm partial to "For the Love of Pete's Dragon" because I heard it once and it made me so happy.
That is so cute.
Yeah, so I stole that several years ago, and it's mine now.
I've always liked, there's a line in Neil Gaiman's American Gods where Chernobog is swearing and he's, "Fuck you, fuck your mother, and fuck the fucking horse that you rode in on." Actually, there's another fuck in there somewhere.
Nick has just brought homemade pumpkin bread, and I am... Everything is good now.
I seriously continue to mourn the fact that the cast doesn't live closer to each other, because we've done applesauce today, made pumpkin bread, and I've got chicken and dumplings going.
Homemade chicken and dumplings.
Halloween sounds like such a fun time. I'm missing out. We don't have Halloween.
It's honestly just the fall season.
We don't do Halloween. We don't have an actual fall either, so we have slightly less terrible summer.
I mean, that is Texas.
Halloween's kind of weird in Scotland because you get like the proper commercial Halloween, but then also I vividly remember when I was like 10 or so, I said, to my mom, I was like, "Oh, can we go trick-or-treating?" And she was like, "We don't say trick-or-treating, we say guising." And you will remember that. And I did, to be fair.
Aggressive Scottish mom.
Love it.
It was in like a nicer tone than that, but it just is stuck in my head. She was like, "We don't call it trick-or-treating, we call it guising. Get it right." And I was like, okay. I don't know why we call it guising. I don't know what it means, but we do. So we don't do trick-or-treating.
The only nice thing about the fact that we don't have Halloween and therefore don't trick-or-treat is that on our costume wearing give your friends candy holiday, you're given the candy. You don't have to do shit. People give you candy.
Do you guys bake at all?
You don't have to go anywhere. You don't have to ask for it. It's part of the holiday. You get candy.
Do you guys bake or want the pumpkin bread recipe? Because we have it written down.
I don't think we really do pumpkins around here. I haven't seen a pumpkin in very long.
I'm gonna send it in the live stream channel.
We
We need to get pumpkins.
last year we bought a pumpkin because we were gonna like do something with it, and we had it for 6 months and it was fine.
We put
And then we eventually got rid of it.
we put chocolate
without
chips in
eating it,
the
'cause
bread.
Pumpkins are troopers.
It was just lurking
Go
in the
bad
kitchen.
really
and we
fast,
were
or they last
eventually-
for years.
Yeah, eventually we were like, this has been here a while. We should get rid of it. And we're like, oh, we'll do it
wait.
eventually.
I know the last time I saw a pumpkin, my dad tried to grow some out in the garden by doing some. Let me know if it makes sense. I'm terribly misremembering, but like taking a broken pumpkin and just
Smashing it.
tossing it very hard onto the ground and hoping it grows there. Is that a thing?
It's not a
It
thing.
sounds like it was a thing.
Not a thing.
Yeah.
I don't know
It
if it
didn't
would work,
grow.
but it's something you can do.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I think there was an idea behind it. It was several years ago. I don't remember. But it was like, I remember there being like a broken pumpkin somewhere in the
I
garden.
want to say pumpkins are like watermelons in that if there's a seed somewhere and there's dirt, it's gonna grow.
Oh yeah, my sister when I was really little, like I was in 2nd grade, my sister was in probably kindergarten because we lived in California, so it was like she was not older than 5, probably when she was 4. She grew pumpkins by accident in our backyard in our play set, and so we had pumpkins. And the same thing happened with watermelon. She grew watermelon in our backyard in our little play set because we had like slide swings, gravel ground. I don't know how anything grew, but she did it somehow. My tiny sister.
See, the thing about pumpkins is we tried to grow them when I was younger, and we put them in like a little bank off the side of my house. And they grew, but they don't grow pumpkins because they're male and female plants. And even though we'd somehow ended up with like a beehive inside of my house right next to where we were growing them, they weren't pollinating, and so they just died.
Aw, that's sad.
But they are
Ace pumpkins. I stand by them.
they're like, no, thank you.
Ace pumpkins.
Then my
It's
dad
canon.
was like, I'm like, there's bees next to the house. He's
Ace
like, oh
bees,
yeah, we'll wait
even
until-
better.
Well, he's like, we'll wait until like the sun goes down when all the bees that go into the hive, so you can like spray them. Except he didn't think that because they're in the house, they're connected in the house. So he sprayed them when all the bees were in there, and instead of like leaving outside, they just went into the house. And so we woke up the next morning and there were just bees everywhere. And we were like, hello, what is going on?
Bee.
And so, yeah. You have bees in the side of your house.
Okay,
They will go into the
Terrifying.
side of into your house.
out of any of the
Terrifying.
characters, who would have a beehive farm?
Waverly.
Yeah,
Waverly and Katie
Yeah.
Bell. I mean,
Yeah.
isn't that part of the requirements of being gay?
this is true.
Yeah.
That's like part of the package, isn't it?
I feel like,
She also lives in a giant like tree world,
Yeah.
so makes sense.
Yeah.
dude, I'm like,
What if the bees are massive?
No, D&D
no.
game. Fuck that.
You can
No.
just ride around giant
Yeah, I know.
bumblebees.
I feel like Mars would try, but just to do science experiments on them.
Yeah, Mars would be like like Sherlock from Elementary and just have like
Yes.
beehives on the roof and then just discover like a new type of bee and be like,
Why is there
I don't know
honey
what to
dripping
do
from the
about-
ceiling? Well, you see.
Yeah, like
Killing bees.
Will Mars try to find the point in which the bees are too large to continue like sustaining themselves as like biological beings? Like how
feel like
how
they
big
might
can we make a bee?
Okay, consider Mars makes the bees sentient.
no, well,
The buzzing, it goes around going,
right.
Listen, they make the
That's the only thing it says. It just fuck.
Mars takes bees and makes them have sentience, like full on intelligence, and they take over a planet, and that's how Mars committed genocide.
They're like, I made a
That's how we
mistake.
got the bee movie from the bee.
I
Lab.
made a mistake. There's too many bees at the Earth government. Do I have permission to do bee genocide?
Oh, I thought you were committing genocide with the bees, not on the bees.
Listen,
I mean, fuck the humans. This planet belongs to the bees now.
Plot twist: Mars has secretly been 30 bees in a suit and just pretending to be human.
Clementine is a
That's
puppy-sized
big
bee
bees.
in a dog
That's
costume.
a couple big bees.
Okay, but would Katie Bell shapeshift into a bee to bother everyone?
One big
Katie
bee.
Bell would shapeshift into a swarm of bees.
Yes.
I think Katie Bell would turn into like a nice big fuzzy bumblebee. Joe would turn into a swarm of
No,
wasps.
not even wasps, but killer
I mean-
bees.
Murder hornets.
Murder
Yeah.
In
hornets.
D&D, you can turn
Guns
into
with
swarms,
guns.
can't you?
Bees with guns. is
Yes.
Joe.
Swarm.
Bees with knives.
Yes.
I feel like Joe is too committed to the knife aesthetic.
This is true.
Yeah.
Because everyone on this
probably.
goddamn station has knives.
Except
Knife
Galatea,
gun.
who put a gun to a knife fight in one.
Knife gun.
Just go full Ruby.
That's-
It's also a gun.
Ellie, didn't we talk about how, like, Evelyn brought a lot of, like, weapons onto the station, and that's why there's that whole panel that, you know, Galatea gets the gun from. But didn't we talk about how all, like, 90% of the knives are just from Mars's lab because Evelyn was like, I'm going to bring in everything from their lab and just brought
Yeah.
their whole ass knife
Yep,
collection.
yep. Listen,
Yeah.
Evelyn recreated
It's
the,
just-
the lab like speck of dust for speck of dust, pretty much. Probably not speck of dust, but there's
That
like the
includes
trash
all
on
of
the
the knives.
floor. There's the pictures. There's the knife collection. There's all the science experiments.
I feel like Mars tries to justify them for being like there for science, and like 3 of them at the very least are not. Like they're very clearly like ornate, like these beautiful knives. It's like I doubt they're for science, but okay.
Mars also has just quarantine chamber in their lab.
Yeah.
Like biological warfare.
Do
You're
you
testing
not
out, like,
have one of those?
I mean, it would be useful
mean-
now.
Yeah, right.
I bet Evelyn's got one buried on her own somewhere.
Yeah. I mean, Aveline.
Yeah, well-
Aveline has a lot of resources.
Technically,
But isn't she a
the
biologist?
entire.
Isn't that
I don't know. Also, isn't technically the entire station Aveline's?
Yeah,
yeah.
like Aveline.
So it is her quarantine chamber.
You right?
Well, not if you
enough.
can get into it that easily. Like, if you're in the quarantine chamber, you probably shouldn't have say on who's coming in and out of the quarantine chamber.
Aveline.
I mean,
It should
yeah.
probably be decided by someone else.
Aveline's a mechanic.
I did
Aveline
invite
is
all these
really
people
good
in.
with
Yeah.
mechanics. So like a lot of the where we see more of Aveline in the future and where like she came from, she was like the ship's mechanic. She's the one who designed the giant machine that made them immortal, which or like what's the word? Grazing over the details? How does that phrase go?
Glossing over.
Glossing over the glossing over the details because
We're not eating
spoilers.
the details.
Glazing over them because glazed donuts. I don't know.
Oh, I want donuts.
Tal goes, Evelyn, what do you have there, Galatea? A gun, Evelyn. No!
No!
Let me
Oh my god, where did she get a gun?
let me see what you have. A gun! No!
I feel like Galatea also would have just smuggled in like one of those tiny petite lady guns that are like have the pearl
Yes.
handles that are like one shot. Like tiny, but you could get a motherfucker with
That
it.
little pea shooter.
Okay, out of all of
Yeah.
them, who would specialize in poison? Besides Mars.
Mars.
Besides Mars.
Like, I say Waverly.
Yeah.
I'd say Waverly too.
Well, didn't their parents-
I have no explanation. It's a vibe thing.
I want to say Ellery.
No, they were.
No.
Waverly's parents had theirs.
Gee.
split.
Right.
I want to say Ellery because I could very easily see him inviting, like, competing companies and stuff to like a nice dinner and then just slipping poison into the drink.
Consider.
No, Ellery's a good, nice
nice.
person.
Consider Ellery painting with poison and then like ships those off to the people of their enemies.
Oh my god, like slow release airborne poisons.
Yeah.
That whip off the paintings. Oh no. Oh no.
I thought Ellery was the host at first.
A lot of people did.
He was way too convenient and too nice.
A lot of
Like, hey, I want to get rid of my husband. This is the easiest way.
Yeah.
A lot of people. Okay, so a lot of people were like for guessing who the host was. It was Aveline. Aveline was actually a pretty decent chunk, but not everyone. There was a lot of Sawyer. There was a good handful of Tala. There was at least one or two who said R, which I think is hilarious because R is the star.
Yeah.
And then there was Ellery, and I even got someone saying it was G. I think that might have been Cedric. But there was a few who were just like, it's G.
Yes, hello, it is me.
Wait, Ari sent a comic book. Yes.
Yeah. It's a very good comic.
It was from like the original comics of us joking around. Which other reason why they were thinking G was because of the Gulf Indigo. Or yeah, the folder. The file that Tala made. But there's a lot of like the show in general. There's a lot of like little clues and stuff. In episode 7, Katie Bell gives this code. It's trying to remember how it goes. It's the
Sierra Oscar November whiskey.
Yes. 2018.
2019.
Was it 2019 or 2018?
I think it was 9.
No, that would make sense. Yeah, because you were cast in 2018, right?
Yeah.
It's whatever years you were. It was whatever year you were casted in, because it actually spells out Snow, and then 2019, which is the year that Lindsay was casted as Katie Bell Snow. Yeah, I wanted because it needed to spell out the name, but I also needed numbers with it. I was like, okay, what's a series of numbers that's like kind of important but not like groundbreaking? And I was like, oh, this is a cute little nod.
Yay, Easter eggs.
Yay, Easter eggs. I put a lot of Easter eggs in the show when I can. I'm trying to remember what the weapon is called. Wait, I have the script up in front of me.
I was gonna say, why aren't you looking at it?
I have the script literally right beside me.
Listeners, she literally has the stream up on my laptop, and then her laptop off to the side. Plus, she has 2 phones that she could choose between.
Listen here, you.
I'm listening. So is everyone else. You have something to say.
I don't remember why I chose the name Gwyneth, but there's a weapon named Gwyneth, and I just think it's a wonderful name. I thought there was a reason behind it, but there's really not, other than I like this name.
Makes me think of Jane's gun in Firefly. His name is Vera.
Yeah. Yeah, there's a lot of, like, there's Easter eggs, there's nods at different shows, there's nods at the cast and crew. There's one character, I don't remember when it was. Oh, no, I remember. It's in the season finale. G talks about a classmate whose name was Dylan, who was a bully. Because I love our dear Dylan. He's one of the sweetest people in the world. But I had to do it. It also felt fitting because of Mars and Sawyer.
It was a really... Do you know what was really weird about joining this crew was... So Dylan was in a podcast called Good Morning Zakara Award, which is about Mass Effect, the video game series. And my best friend from high school started listening to it and was like, hey, Emmett, you like Mass Effect? I know this because it's my fault that you like Mass Effect. You'll like this podcast. So I started listening to it. It's very good. And then on the first table read for this show, I was like, why do I recognize that voice? I swear to God, I recognize that voice. And so I messaged Dylan. I was like, hey, this is a weird question. Are you in a podcast called Good Morning Zakara? And he was like, yeah, how the fuck do you know that? I was like, it's a good show. Listen.
It's really fun listening
Yeah,
to how everyone talks.
Small internet.
Yeah. It's really interesting. It's really fun hearing how everyone, like, talks in, like, natural voice, like we are now, and then, like, versus the character. Like, Dylan, his voice is so much higher than Sawyer.
Yeah, Dylan's voice is impressive for Sawyer.
Uh-huh. Because apparently Sawyer is, like, really deep in their range. And then you have Lenny. Lenny's just fucking chaos. And then you have Waverly, who's all regal and a queen, and then just fucking Lenny.
We are all love Lenny.
Mm-hmm. And then you have Nick, who is an adult
playing an 8-year-old.
Which most of the characters are like mid to late 20s, early 30s. I think
I'm baby.
Yeah. I don't think anyone is playing a character that is their actual age, which I think is just amusing.
I think Lenny is the closest.
Lenny's the closest. At this point, yeah. Lenny was...
I think it's like less than a year's difference either way.
No, actually, I think Lenny is the same
Considering
age as
that
Waverly now.
sirens are probably not 19, yes, I am not in the running for that.
I'm pretty sure
I don't
Ari
think I'm
here
in
is
the
not
running either.
immortal, but I could be wrong.
Pretty sure.
I'm gonna find their ages because I wrote it down at one point. What am I looking through? Oh,
I mean, we can't say Ari's not immortal because we haven't been proven wrong there.
Until proven otherwise, yeah.
I wrote their ages down.
In that way, they are similar to Aveline.
Do you want to know their birthdays?
Yes.
So Galatea was born on December 1st. Katie Bell...
That tracks.
Katie Bell Snow was born on May 16th. I never wrote when the Katie Bell server was born. I just wrote Snow.
May 17th.
Waverly was born on June 26th. Sawyer was born on February 13th. Aveline was born on July 5th. Mars was born on January 16th. Joe was born on August 7th. And Tala was born on September 4th. And I picked the dates for specific reasons, or at least the months. You have Galatea was born in like a wintry month in December, which is like, you know, when there's a lot of snow, and she's a bit colder, personality-wise. Katie Bell was born in May because of like, you know, springtime fun energy. It was just like feelings I associated with like the months and their personalities. Waverly was born in the summer because she just gives me summer vibes. She's very much like nature, planet, and stuff. You have Sawyer was born in February, which is like
Pisces.
Mm-hmm. One of like February for me has always been like fucking miserable cold and just it's a lot. And so that's when Sawyer was born.
Miserable cold.
Okay.
I don't know. Aveline was born in July as well, which very hot personality. Hot as in like very fiery and ready to fucking kill. Mars was born in January because it's different than December, but it's close enough, if that makes sense. It's still winter, it's still cold, but it's not miserable cold like February. February will always be the miserable cold month for me. Joe being born in August being like, you know, late summer, and Tala being in the fall. I don't know why those are the months I associate with them, but here we are. Age-wise, as of the show taking place, which is in 3018, Waverly is 22, Katie Bell is 29, Aveline, like season 1 Aveline, the front she puts on is 25. In reality, who fucking knows? I don't even think she knows at this point. Galatea is 30, Mars is 32, Sawyer is 35, Tala is 4, but actually Tala's a lot older than that. R is unknown because R is a fucking star. Ellery is 34, G is 8, and Joe, who knows? That's how old they all are.
Yeah, Mars is 10 years older than, well,
Yeah.
wait, I'm trying to do
How old are you?
maths. 2,990 years older. No, wait. I can't do math. I'm 22.
Numbers.
Mars is 32. I was trying to oh, I need to go to bed.
But yeah, everyone's either playing a character that's much older than them, much younger than them, or just a few years off.
Yeah.
I mean, I am 22
Hope it
years
works.
older than G.
I'm much younger than the star. I will say that.
I'd hope so.
But yeah, it's past 3 now. I think we should probably end the stream around here.
Yes.
Thank you guys so much.
I'm yawning, so please.
Yeah, me too. It is just past 11 p.m.
Thank you guys
Yeah,
so
go
much
bed.
for joining me.
I worked all morning.
Oh,
This
bye.
was a lot of fun. This was a lot of chaos, but it's gonna be a fun season.
Yeah.
Yay.
Yay. Thank you for being here.
Alright, thank you guys, everyone, for